Damn.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's certainly a strong way to start.
Wow. Nice.
That's what you call a start, folks. Dude, we gotta just jump right into that. I'm like,
Okay.
wow.
Tell me what you want to know. I will gladly answer anything you've got.
Well, let's get everybody caught up. How did this come to be? Because I know we've talked about this before, but maybe some people out there are going, whoa.
Well, so I guess, I should probably introduce myself just in case you haven't seen me here before. My name is Michael Oden. I am the creator and founder of Nine Realms Publishing. And the trailer you just saw was obviously for my book, Elysian Fields Reborn, which is the reboot of my of the first series that I did when I got into indie comics back in 2020. So when I got into doing this, it was just kind of like a passion project where I was doing a this kind of battle book where. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me just a second.
Something always happens while we're doing stuff like this. This is what it's called live TV, folks.
That's right.
Not love live TV.
It's always fun. Anyway,
wait till the pets start coming out.
Oh, that's like the issue was that one of the pets was getting all up, and like my dad's trying to pick up some stuff, and we can't leave one of the dogs by themselves because they get into everything. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So see, it was a pet. It's always a pet.
It's always a pet.
I saw a comic strip today where someone's on like someone's on a first date with someone. Is like, wow, you look exactly the way you do on Zoom, and the woman is just standing there with a cat. With a cat.
I mean, fair enough.
This was hilarious.
Oh man. But so yeah, as I was saying, the big thing with this is that I kind of growing up, I was one of those nerdy kids that wasn't just reading comics. I was like, I read my dad read me like the Iliad as a bedtime story, and I was really into mythology. And so, most nerds draw the line at, who would win in a fight between like Batman and Spider-Man or something like that. But me and my friends, we would be arguing about, who would win in a wrestling match between like Heracles and Beowulf. Or like who would win in a fight between Gilgamesh and Enkidu. And so this is kind of like the results of that. And so at its base, Elysian Fields is effectively Mortal Kombat with heroes of mythology. You've got this tournament in the underworld where all these different gods of the dead have put together teams of their respective cultural heroes to fight on their behalf in this tournament. Winner becomes the next the Lord of the Underworld for the next 1,000 years, right? Like that's like at its bare basics. And so Hades has brought Achilles into this tournament, and on its deeper level, you have this story about, Achilles was this person that was driven by pride and rage and all of these other things in his life. And in his afterlife, he's kind of been in this peace and tranquility. And the question is he going to be consumed by the demons that haunted him in life by being in this tournament, or is he going to hold fast to, the Achilles that we see by the time of, like, say, the Odyssey in the Homeric texts, who is a bit more, aware of, man, I might not have made the best choices in life. Like, maybe choosing eternal glory wasn't the right call. And so that's kind of the whole internal struggle that you've got going on there. And we've got a great cast of support characters as well that play into this. Achilles is on a team with two other major Greek heroes. We've got Heracles, because, if you're going to have, a team of Greek heroic figures, you can't not have probably the most famous, not even probably, the most famous member of Greek mythological heroes. And then you have Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, who is probably one of my favorite characters to write in the book. I have a great time with her.
So let me ask you this, because I know we all have besides the fact that that's your favorite to write, you got all these gods, and we have our favorites and those that we don't like. Who are your favorites?
So from of the gods or of the heroic characters in the tournament?
Give us both.
Okay, so of the gods, I haven't written much of her yet, but I'm very excited to write Freya. She's gonna be fun. But I have been having a lot of fun writing Hades. He's very interesting and I'd like to think that this version of Hades is very different than what a lot of people have come to expect of him.
Right. From
Disney's Hercules and stuff like that. I have him as kind of this charismatic deal maker.
Makes sense.
And there's some stuff going on with the deity sides of things, and this kind of plays into the mystery of how much time has really passed since Achilles' death, because there are certain things going on with this tournament that kind of allude to maybe the Hellenic pantheon has kind of fallen out of favor. So Hades is a really fun character to write. I'm really excited to write Freya. Least favorite of the deities, I don't even know if I can say that there's a least favorite, because I haven't gotten enough of a chance to explore with them.
Right.
I'm more interested in writing the heroic characters for Yan, who is the Chinese deity of the dead that we've got.
Mm-hmm.
And that team's going to be very fun. I won't go into that because I'm still working on how to bring them into the story. I know one of the characters will be Sun Wukong, which is very fun. I'm looking at kind of making him almost Deadpool-esque. I don't want to go too hard into the fourth wall breaking, but I really like the idea of having both his design and his fighting style take from very popular depictions of Sun Wukong to include Goku from Dragon Ball.
Right.
Because that's probably the most well-known depiction of Sun Wukong. But yeah, so it's been fun putting all that together. in terms of the heroic characters, I've really like Achilles is always a blast for me to write. He's one of my favorite characters in all fiction. I think that he's way more complex than a lot of people realize. People read the Iliad and they go, "Why does everybody make a big deal about Achilles? He's sitting there whining for 3/4 of the book." And I'm like, you missed the point of that. Like, this is a parable on how rage is a destructive force that ultimately leaves you empty. And so you get to see Achilles kill a bunch of people through passive rage and then kill a bunch of people through active rage, and he gets nothing out of it. And so it's a very cool character study, the Iliad is, and it's
it definitely is, especially because the whole time Achilles shouldn't even be there in the first place, and if he didn't go, he would have still been alive.
Exactly. So, but and so like that, like there's a lot of fun stuff with Achilles. So I always have a lot of fun writing that character. But then, as I said, I've really fallen in love with Hippolyta. I really like writing her. In my original Elysian Fields, I actually had Theseus in the team, and I got the idea to do Hippolyta because I had in like the third story of the original Elysian Fields, there is this whole kind of dream sequence where Theseus is reunited with Hippolyta, who he marries. And I had a good time writing her, and I didn't really think I was getting anything good out of Theseus in my original script. So I was like, all right, well, we'll swap it up. It also gives us a chance to bring some girl power to the team. So it was really cool. And the more that I've written her, the more fun I have. I really like her character. I really like the voice that I've given her. And her story is going to be one that I think is going to hit people pretty hard.
Do you have difficulty sifting through, or just all the different versions of the characters, like all the different stories? Do you have difficulty?
Dude, that's
sometimes some guys will seem one way, and then another story they'll seem another way, and
100%. So especially Achilles is less difficult because we generally have his characterization is so consistent, and he's one of those characters that is pretty streamlined in his narrative. There's not a lot of give and take. But Hippolyta, for instance, there are 12 different translations of 12 different stories. And the other thing is that a lot of stuff that we know about these characters, we don't have their direct myths. Their myths are referenced in other historical accounts where they're this is this story written by so and so. There is so much from these stories that we've lost between the plays and the poems and everything like that. But according to some myths, Hippolyta does one thing or she does another, and so it's been kind of fun. It's like playing it's like building a puzzle, right? Except you choose what the puzzle pieces are that you want to fit together, right? So the version of Hippolyta that I went with was obviously Heracles goes to Themyscira to steal the girdle of Hippolyta as one of the 12 labors, right? And so he brings with him a couple friends, one of whom is Theseus, the king of Athens who slayed the Minotaur. Now, Hippolyta is initially willing to entertain Heracles, but she gets some poison dropped in her ear by Hera, and it causes the whole thing to go sour. It turns into a massive conflict wherein Hippolyta meets Theseus. And her and Theseus fall in love, and they elope and they have a kid. The Amazons are not willing to accept it, refuse to accept this as the case, and so they chase after her and believe that they are fighting a war against Athens to save her from being abducted. which results in the Amazomachia, which is the Amazon Wars that are depicted on the stelae on the top of the Parthenon,
Right.
in Athens.
Mhm.
So and Hippolyta dies during that conflict. In some versions she's leading the conflict. In mine, she dies protecting Theseus, and is killed by another very important character of the story that has a very cool connection with Achilles. But like it was one of those things that as I wrote her and I was doing all the research and everything and putting the pieces together, it was like she was such a better fit for the story than Theseus ever was, because she has a tie. She ties Theseus and Achilles together in a very tangible way.
Right. Where
she's killed by somebody that plays an important role in Achilles' story. She's friends. She knew Heracles and was like a contemporary of his time. In a way, Heracles introduced her to the man that she fell in love with. So it's like it's this whole thing where she kind of has this kind of glue to both of these characters, and it's been very fun to play with, and it's been really cool because it's like, she and Achilles do not get along initially, and so it's been very fun kind of playing with that and having them get to a point where they have to, initially reluctantly start working together, but then eventually my plan is for them to actually become to have a very strong bond with one another as Achilles becomes more open and vulnerable to her, and vice versa.
Right. So, we were talking about the god geeks and all that. And usually anytime somebody brings up a different version of these characters, you get these god geeks, just like the Marvel geeks, who start going, that's not how the character is. Have you gotten any of that?
I mean, I definitely have stuff like that. Like, as I said, there are certain characters where it's way more concrete, right? Like, Gilgamesh and Enkidu play a very big role in these first few issues. Like they are the first people you see Team Hades fight in the tournament, and I had a blast with that. The second issue that is like a massive fight between Achilles and Gilgamesh, and I had such a blast writing that. And so with Gilgamesh, there's way less leeway, right? You have the Epic of Gilgamesh. You have to base his characterization off of everything that's in that, because that's the template, right? Like there are no other, oh, well, Gilgamesh had this other side story. Like with Achilles and all of these other characters, you have all these different poems and they have crossovers, and it's hard to kind of tell which one is supposed to be, like, there is no real canon like there is in like comics. It's a giant mess, and you have no idea which one is the correct one, and who's to say which one that is anyway, because these are about, mythic figures that may or may not have held sway in actual real events.
With Gilgamesh, it's usually the legend stays intact. They have like fun with like his personality, I see.
Yeah.
Like Tales of Jiraga, Gil is like a straight up hero, and in that video game, Gil.
Yeah.
And then
but then like the Fate
like Great Grand, like Fate Stay Night, the famous one, Gil's he's a total jerk. But
yeah. But I think that is like the most accurate depiction of Gilgamesh that we have ever done. I think that it is hilarious. I love the Fate series. Actually played a big role in influencing how I wanted to set this thing up, and like ironically, I think that it is hilarious that like Fate Zero in particular gave us probably the most authentic representations of Gilgamesh and Alexander the Great.
Oh wow, Alexander the Great is awesome. Yeah.
Like they nailed their personalities.
Yeah.
So I have my degree is in history with a a focus on ancient Greece and Rome, my senior seminar was that I wrote, my big like thesis paper that I did was all about the adoption of Persian customs that Alexander did and how they were political maneuvers and this, that, the other. So like I say this to preface this. I quoted in one of our like discussion posts and what have you, I quoted Fate Zero's Alexander because it was like, this is not a direct quote from Alexander. This is from this anime, but I genuinely believe that this best represents how Alexander saw things. And it's his quote that he gives to Arthur in the Grail dialogue, where she tries to tell him that, you know, his words are the words of a brutal tyrant, and he goes, it's better than a pup than like a it's better than whatever the hell you were, because you were not a king. And then goes and explains that the king needs to be the excess of everything. You know, it was like you know, he needs to be able to inspire and even cause envy, so that men want to be as brave or be as wealthy as the king is, right? Like there's this whole idea of what the king is, and as Alexander is explaining, this is 100% how Alexander would have seen it. And like even down to the whole thing of like his aspiration to reach Okeanos. I was like, yo, what the hell? This weird freaking battle romance anime that makes no freaking sense when you're looking at it from a top down. Like it's so convoluted. The lore is so convoluted.
That's the fun of Fate, though, is that you know, they're just going, let's see what sticks.
100%.
Fate always does their homework, even when they turn male characters into females.
100%.
They still do their homework. That's
maddening. Like Fate Apocrypha, I adored. Like I had so much fun with Fate Apocrypha. Vlad the Impaler having the Dracula noble phantasm.
They made Shiro, Amakusa Shiro. Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah, everything that they did was just fan-freaking-tastic. I was just like, why? How is this weird niche-ass anime putting out the best representations of these historical and mythic figures? How on earth is that happening? The fight between Chiron and Achilles in Fate Apocrypha, I was like, yo, this isn't okay, man. I gotta compare this shit. That's not right. Like, you can't do that to me.
Oh man, too much geek. Well, but I do like, that's why I like Fate though. Is talk about messing with the story and changing things around and just like going, we got to do whatever we want.
I mean, they do, but they also stay.
They do their homework, yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah.
They like Achilles feels like Achilles. They're like, okay, what's an aspect of this character that we can do and make this as a defining trait and do it in a way that makes him likable, but still like very authentic to Achilles. So they go, okay, Achilles has an immense sense of loyalty to his men, like to his comrades in arms, right? Like you know, this loyalty to his comrades in arms is what has spurred the debate on his relationship with Patroclus for literal millennium.
Yep.
Like the Iliad never explicitly states what the nature of their relationship is, but pretty much ever since the days of the Hellenistic Greeks, the debate on is Achilles and Patroclus a ship has been a thing. Yep. So Achilles has this devout loyalty to his comrades, and so they go, okay, that's going to be his defining trait. We're gonna focus in on that, so that way we don't have to showcase the emotional mess that Achilles is, and make him extremely likable as the Rider of Black. And I'm like, you guys suck. Like, Like this is fantastic. I mean, like Vlad the Impaler, I thought
That's what I was about to say. What they did with Dracula, oh, that was awesome.
They get the best.
I'm never a vampire. I'm not a vampire. And then they lock the seal. He becomes a vampire. I'm like, damn it!
The best part of that was him being like, "You're not allowed to use my noble phantasm."
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, "No, screw it. I'm using your noble phantasm," and he turns into Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's both one of the most badass moments of the series and awesome. Wrenching because he's lost complete agency over himself and turned into this thing that he despises as a man of God. And you're just like, dude, fuck you guys. How did you come up with this?
I mean, could you imagine if the real Dracula or Vlad the Impaler is really in heaven or hell, wherever he is, and he's looking at us like, I wasn't a vampire. What is this?
Well, that's the thing that I loved about it. Is like Vlad the Impaler genuinely thought that what he was doing was righteous.
Yep.
Right.
You know? Yeah. He was fighting for his sovereignty against against not just a encroaching enemy, but an enemy of the faith.
Yeah.
So like to see himself be turned into literally the most popular monster of all time.
Yeah.
Would probably be like the worst. Like that is divine punishment in and of itself.
I always remember the G.I. Joe episode where they're like, where they were collecting DNA samples to create Serpentor, and so they were going after Dracula. They were like, "Wait, Dracula's real?" He said, "Yeah, he was real, but he wasn't a vampire. He had a nasty habit of turning people into hors d'oeuvres."
Pretty much.
That's what
that just reminds me of the meme of it's Vlad the Impaler discovers marshmallows, and it's just got him with like a little stick. Puts the marshmallow on it, goes, "This is fucking amazing."
Oh my god. Let's talk a little bit about the art because this thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
We have a great art team. Will, our penciler, is next level, and it's crazy to me that this guy is doing the work that he is doing and has not been offered a contract by any of the big companies. My jaw hits the floor because it's like, he's really freaking good. And I'm just like sitting here scratching my head. It's like, who did you piss off? Like, you had to have pissed. Like, it makes no sense. How do you not? How do you not have a contract? And then we have Tiago Gomez, who does a lot of work for a lot of different indie people. From this, people like me and Dave Brink over at Genuine Comics. He brought Tiago in to ink Perfect 10 issue 5. He's also done a lot of inks for some of the Rippaverse books. Like, extraordinarily professional and talented guy. And then Ruvian, who's this up-and-comer colorist, who is one of the best colorists I've ever seen. Like, he does a fantastic job, and he's fast. Like, I usually send him the inked pages, and we have the full color rent. Like, once he starts on it, it might take him a couple of days to get to it because he's juggling other gigs. But once he starts, we have a completed page within a day and a half.
Wow.
Like, he's insane.
Within a day. Damn.
Yeah, it looks really good. I like the artwork there on that.
Yeah, and the colors too are great.
If you scroll down, because you can actually build out pre-launch pages now on Kickstarter, which is insane.
Which makes life so much easier.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So there, we were talking about the characters. So obviously we've got Achilles there in the foreground. Then mid-ground we have Heracles with his Nemean lion pelt. And then in the background you've got Hippolyta, and I've got her riding this demonic horse that is a mayor of Diomedes. So if you know about the 12 labors of Hercules, you know that one of his labors was he had to go round up the mayors of Diomedes and defeat them. They were these horses that were bred by the king of Thrace, Diomedes, and they ate people. They were these like brutal, vicious creatures, these monsters, and Heracles tamed them. So like I have it be that, you know, she's riding one of the mayors of Diomedes in the tournament. So you've got, you know, Hippolyta is a daughter of Ares, Zeus, and then Heracles is a son of Zeus, and then you've got Achilles, who is the son of Thetis. So you've got these 3 demigods on the team, and it's pretty great. And so this is our main cover.
Is the inks are the pencil inks, are they digital or are they traditional?
Will is 100% traditional, and then Tiago does digital inking.
Okay,
Wow,
that's good. You'll have the traditional pencil pages to keep.
Oh yeah, and they're gorgeous. Like,
Yeah,
I'm very much considering doing like an unwrapped edition of this, where like it's like Will did some tremendous work.
Yeah,
look at these insides.
That's great.
very good.
There will be no complaints on, man, I really liked this cover, but the interiors, man, what happened? You will have no complaints on that. Like this book is crisp. And it's also, we're not doing a like standard comic book size either. I like, because this is a battle book, I wanted to give the art room to breathe. So we're doing 8.5 by 11 prestige.
Ooh, you're doing prestige.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is one of those classic books that you put on your coffee table.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. How many pages?
44. 44.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's like a graphic novel length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this one's done by Von Randall and Robert Nugent, who are both you know, the big thing that they have in common is they work for McFarlane Studios. They are both artists on current Spawn books.
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Nugent does the colors for the current Brett Booth Spawn book right now, and then Von Randall does interiors and covers for a bunch of those series that McFarlane's got going right now. So brilliant collaboration. Vaughn is amazing line artist that I am very fortunate to have worked with on multiple projects at this point.
Who's the colorist on this one?
That would be Robert Nugent, who is the colorist for Brett Booth's Spawn book right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Is Gunslinger Spawn, or which one is it?
The Spawn book.
Okay.
Like the main one.
He's got 4 titles or 5 now, so
I know, but like, yeah. So the main Spawn book, and
that's really good too. I like that.
Yeah. So this one's done by a new guy, Zachary Pamintuam.
Very good.
And so I found him because I found out that within a couple of days of me doing the when we launched this on March 28th, 3 days prior, the full release of the Supergiant Supergiant Games Hades 2 comes out. And the art style on those games is beautiful and has really responded well with people. And so I ended up finding this guy because initially I wanted to try and see if I could get the art director from Supergiant Games to do a variant, and she was not available. And you know, it's always one of those things that you try to reach for the stars. Every now and again, you luck out and grab one, but I'm sure that if she was available, her like rates would probably have made me cry into my. But I found this guy because he had done this beautiful Hades 2 fan piece, and I was like, it's almost identical to how it looks in the game. So I wanted to have him do the Hades, give the Elysian Fields characters the Hades makeover. So this is our Hades Supergiant homage cover. And it's drop dead gorgeous, and Zach did a tremendous job. Very, very quick turnaround on this too. I think that he got this done in like 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, look at that smile, man. You see the gum.
Yeah, I love that smile.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a smile, man.
And the hand coming forward to force his perspective, it's coming out there at you too.
It's like classic.
And then we've got the final cover, the Show Stealer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So this is V. Ken Marion and Andrew Dahlhaus. V. Ken is a pretty big name over at DC right now. He's done the art on a whole bunch of the All In event tie-ins. He's done tons of covers over the past couple of years. I think he got big doing covers for Brett Booth on his Titans run back during Rebirth. And then Andrew Dahlhaus is the colorist that he prefers working with, and Andrew has a tremendous resume on his own right that is filled with all sorts of things. This was like the coolest thing to put together, and I am very I wanted to have all of the other covers that we did was like the team motif, right? Like it showcasing who all was in the book, but I wanted this cover to really be about Achilles. And so you get this just fantastic, lion-hearted Achilles thing where it's just him fucking people up, and I love it.
It's a good camera angle too. It's got a good camera angle, good composition.
It has a classic comic book feel.
It really does. That's
Yeah.
what I like. Yeah.
It does. It just feels like classic comics.
Yeah.
Like your mind instantly animates it,
Oh yeah.
Instantly, so it moves.
Gives it depth because you're seeing that blade coming right up
Oh yeah.
at you.
Dude, this is a beautiful cover. I can see why you're like, oh, and this one.
And this one's our show stealer. I mean, and it's
oh, they're all really good, yeah. But I see what you're saying.
It's one of those things where it's like all of the covers we have are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
This is the icing on the like the 10th layer of icing on the cake, where you're just like, yes, this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
nice.
This is exactly what we want.
Like the other cool thing about this book is it's almost done. By the time that we go to launch, I will have a proof copy in hand to show people. So it's literally going to go as soon as we have the funds. The fulfillment process starts. We get the stuff that we need ordered to our fulfillment service, and it's just getting it straight out to people.
That's always good because it's not like it's I've got this project in mind that I'd like you to purchase something here or pledge on something and then wait for a year or two. It's already done, which is to me that's how I run mine, and it's just the best way to go because it's saying something. It's like we're committed to doing this project. And we're
100%.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and I especially wanted to do this because I crowdfunded the first 2 books years ago. Before I did Elysian Fields issue 0 and I did Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit. And so I've already technically this book is drastically different, right? As I said, originally I had Theseus in there, but more than that, I've added a whole bunch of sequences in this. The 0 issue, which was the start of the series, was I think 26 pages of story. This is 44 pages of story. So when it's all said and done from cover to cover, it's probably going to be around a 50-page book. Right, 52 pages once you include graphics and everything like that.
Big books.
It's going to be a good sizable book. So but like what I want to do is I want to showcase like, hey, I'm not just like coming back to you and having you fund this thing. Like, no, I took the initiative. It's done. Go on ahead, get the book. It's going to get to you. And then my hope is that if we're able to do as well as I'm expecting, I'm going to take that money and like the excess money, we're going to invest it straight. Like I already have the script for the second book is going through its first round of edits right now. My editor has said that it's one of the best scripts I've ever written. I'm very excited about it. And then I'm working on the third issue as well. My big goal is I want to have the first 5 issues written by the time we launch the first issue. Because my other plan is that if the campaign does as well as I'm kind of foreseeing it doing, I'm going to create, I'm putting together a pitch sheet, and I'm going to take that and the campaign results to a couple of publishers and see if I can't get it distributed. And effectively be like, look, I've got the first 5 issues done. Here's a proof of concept to showcase that this thing sells. Mm-hmm. This is how we're doing. This is the format we're doing. This is this. This is that. Pay me. I'll get it all done. If we don't pay back dividends, obviously that cancels the series. I have 5. We did it for 5 issues. It's a full storyline. You guys can make a trade paperback and try and make money on the back end off of it. But at the very least, we get this in national distribution. But I think that this is a book that people will see on the shelf in a store and go, what is this?
Let's check it out.
Let me check that out. And then you look through the art and it's like, man, this is freaking insane. And mythology is making a comeback right now. Yeah. So I do think that this is the right time for this kind of book. It's just about how you market it and how you get it out there.
And folks, speaking of marketing, speaking of all that beautiful stuff, I put the link right into the comments section so I don't have to hear, I'm lazy. I don't want to go look for the link. It's right there. And folks, with these types of projects, it's right now, it's a sign up to get notified. You're always asking me, how can you help out a project without paying any money? This is the perfect time to do that. You sign up to get notified. You don't do any money. It's just you signing up to get notified. And it gives the project followers. The more followers the project has, the better it starts with in the algorithm when it starts. So you're giving a boost to the project even before it has started.
Yeah. And we've certainly, since the release of the trailer and the announcement of the V. Ken Marion cover, we have jumped like almost 20 people. So thank you to everyone that's already come out and signed up. We hope to get more of you in there. It's a very exciting project. We're very, very excited to get it out to you. And yeah.
Yeah, folks, the project speaks for itself. Mr. Charles, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself, and I'll put up your work over here on the side.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. So I'm Charles Morgan, and I'm the artist, writer, creator of Cold Kutter. It's a crime noir series. It's set in modern Manhattan. So it's not like we're dealing with a story that took place in 1955. The story's taking place right now, down the street from you, Raphael. So, if you run into these characters, you know who they are. So, but yeah, so I'm launching issue number 4, at the end of January. So we've got a little time. I need to boost my followers. So,
like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. It's like I planned.
What a coincidence. Exactly.
well, folks, if you would help me out, sign up. We get this thing moving along the way here. But this book, this cover here is one that I penciled and inked myself, and I got a good colorist. I mean, an excellent colorist, and Alina Vargas. So she's coloring for me now some covers. We did have Jesse Higgy on issue 1 through 3, but he's pretty busy. He's kind of tied up with regular work right now, so he said he wouldn't be able to jump in on this one. So, but Alina's done a very good job, and I'm really proud of it. We've got some cool looking cars in here. If you like, the classic noir feel, you've always got the car, the Cadillac, or the old school Model A or something in the older.
That's what I like when we used to watch the old TV shows. Is the cool car Starsky and Hutch, the
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah, so I've got a classic 60s muscle car in here that he drives, and obviously in one of the issues you'll see what happens to that. And then of course there's this Cadillac in here. So you know the whole city and the cars, their characters in the story just as important as Dylan Cutter, who is the star there, and on the left pointing the gun, and that's his sidekick and love interest, Triff Austin. So they're, the cars, the city, all these characters, it's just as important as the stars. All these other guys here are just supporting casts. And also there's some crooks in there too as well. So, he's it starts off in issue number 1 is this cover here is just one I'd like to talk about too. I penciled it, and Joseph Rubenstein, he's a comic legend, inking legend.
Mm-hmm.
He actually inked this for me. So he's actually done a cover on the first 3 issues, now the 4th issue. And then in our Kickstarter, there'll be a tier where you can get an autograph copy. And, he's really being very, very gracious on this to help us out. So it's a very good deal, very good value. When the book comes in, I'll ship it to Joe. He'll sign it. You'll get a certificate of authenticity from 4-Speed Studios. And you can add that to your collection, whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, so the story is revolving around a revenge tale. So in the first issue on page 1, he's already down in the dumps because his brother's been murdered. His brother's his partner, and they run an investigation, a private investigation company, and called Cutter and Cutter. So his brother Dalton's been killed, and he's kind of he's down in the dumps about it. And before he can really think, the people that killed him are trying to kill him also. So he's being shot at. He's almost killed. He runs the guy down, finally captures him, and gets him locked up and arrested. And by the time you get to the end of issue 1, Triff is in danger, so he has to go rescue her, or try to. So he's in the process of trying to rescue her. So by issue number 2, we're kind of moving through the story. We start to introduce other characters who are very important in the story, behind the drug syndicate, the people he's up against, and basically he's just reacting. He really doesn't have any time to be an investigator at this point. He's basically just reacting because they're trying to kill him, and they're after him and Triff. This is a beautiful cover here by Alex Ogle. He does this wonderful work. I met him at a show in Louisville, and I said, this guy he just really has a knack for noir. And
dude, this cover is so noir.
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm picking up one of those pulp books.
Yeah. I contacted him. I said, look, man, I know it's your thing, and I really would like you to do a cover for me. I kind of threw down a little very rough sketch, just kind of let him play with it. And this is what he came up with. I mean, he just knocked it out of the park. So just a beautiful cover. It's just noir is a little different. It's about light and shadow, and the minimalisticness of it is really what makes it. It's hard to do that. You can put every detail and every button and every stitch in a coat, but when you can make it look like that, that's really what you're trying to knock out with it. It's just the atmosphere, it's the feeling, what's going on in this picture here. And that's what we try to do.
I gotta say, this picture says a lot. This cover says a lot. It kind of tells you exactly where we are by issue 4. Yeah,
so this is issue 4 variant cover by Alex Ogle. So we've got 5 covers. I penciled 3 of them. I think we had one by Alex. He did all the art and colors here. We got another one by Francesco, which we'll see in a minute. And of course, Joe Rubenstein inked that one there that you backed up to. It's just a beautiful cover. Love the color work too. Now this one's by Francesco Tomaselli. He's actually he did some Spawn work, some Spawn covers for Todd McFarlane. And I guess about 8 months ago, he had a cover came out with Spawn, and I saw that, and I was like, he's just really, really awesome. So
this is an amazing cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he just put so much detail in the figures, the faces. you can just see the personalities coming through there. You know, so
you don't know if you ever seen, well, Rolf might have seen it, like, you know, like the newsstands where they would sell those little Mexican comic books. They had those like those painted covers with style. That's what that reminds me of.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I like his color work. I mean, he does stuff that looks different, so unique. You know,
it's funny you're saying that. It's different and unique, but at the same time, it fits into the genre.
It does. Yeah, it really does. So he did his first cover for me. He did on issue 3. And I said, wow, if I can get him back, I'm going to have him back, you know, to do another cover. And I said, you know, I asked him if he would do another one. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm a little busy, but probably get started in a couple of weeks. I'll have it to you within 3-4 weeks. So
I love what he does with faces.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Just knocked it out. And of course, you know, Rob Powers does all my graphics and logos. And
yeah, Rob's amazing.
We've revamped that 4-Speed Studios logo. It's a lot more.
I noticed. Yeah,
it's more modern and it kind of pops now. So
it does pop. It has its own thing going on.
Yeah. Now this cover here is sort of a classic take on covers on comic art. Sort of has an Al Williamson kind of thing going on with it. That's kind of what I was shooting for. I wanted something that had a classic feel to it. You know, that kind of tells a story. You kind of get an idea of, like, there's a conflict here, and here's some people that's involved in the story here in the background. So, and we got a little action there with the Cadillac. You know, in the background.
Have you seen some of those old, like, Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. covers where they were just like surreal images sometimes, and you just got the message of this is a spy comic. You know, you just, you know,
yeah,
really cool. Yeah,
I have to go back and check those out. I don't remember those, but I have to go back and check those out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so by the time we get into like issue 3, you know, it's stories moving along. We've introduced the drug syndicate. We're starting to see what they're doing behind the scenes. And they're moving magic powder, right? So they're drug lords, and Dylan and Dalton have been in their way. They have busted them. They've kept them from having, you know, just free reign of moving drugs. So basically, you know, they've given them a hard time. So I'm getting we're developing more. You know, we're bringing more characters in as the stories, as the issues release with the story, so that, you know, we kind of see a little bit more, because there's a real setup here at the end in issue 5 that's just really gonna blow your socks off.
And folks, just so you guys can get a little feel for this, I'm gonna play the videotape. Here we go. This is for issue 3, because 4 we're still working on right now.
Still working on it, yeah. And Raphael does the voiceover.
Yeah.
Let's see if watching that want to play, because that's the day we're having over here, folks. Hold on.
Yeah, it was working last night. I checked it. There we go.
Trying to survive in a world of urban crime is a task I would rather not have to deal with. As a private investigator, you make plenty of enemies along the way. After my brother Dalton was killed, I've come under attack, and to make matters worse, they're going after Triff, and I'll do whatever it takes to keep her safe. The crime syndicate has a head. You have to find out his identity before it's too late.
Little taste, folks. Little taste.
Yeah, little taste there. I appreciate the voiceover. That was really good. Really good. You've done all.
Bro, did you do that scream too, or was that
Yeah, see?
Wow.
Man of many talents.
Black over here. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, the creative team on the book is just, you know, really been good. You know, like I said, in issue 2, I had some more iconic comic artists to help us with some covers. I had Larry Stroman.
Yeah,
you know, he did a fantastic, knocked out of the park cover for us. Is just amazing. You know, we had Mark McKenna. You know, he's an inker, so he inked one of my covers for me. It turned out just beautiful. And of course, we've had Joe Rubenstein on every issue, and Francesco and my letterer, Jason Meadows. He's been with me.
Dude, your cover has been great. Each issue you've done a pretty good job, and you haven't gone crazy with it either. Because you've only done about 4 for each one, right?
I do 5 on each one. Now the first comic, the first issue, there was 4 designs, but there was 5 covers. I did a black and white version of cover, the studio cover. So it's actually been. I saw it on eBay the other day. Somebody CGC'd it, and they graded a 9.8, and it's for sale for $125.
Right.
Hey, that's not too bad.
We talk about that on the show all the time. It's so funny because I tell my friends, "Did you keep any of them?" I'm like, "No, I sold them all." I'm like, "Dude, they're selling it on eBay for like $500."
Yeah. It's kind of like becoming a collector item. I guess the black and white version of that cover, but they're rare. I don't have that many of them out there, so I was glad to see that.
It's always funny to me, and I know the big companies hate it too when their books once they're already sold and they're not reselling them anymore, and they all of a sudden have these huge prices on them. They go, "Hey, we don't like this."
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I was just kind of surprised to see that. So I was like, wow. But I think 9.8 is hard to get, though. A 9.8 is really hard to get.
Yeah, it is. I tell my friends all the time, the best thing to do if you want to collect comics, the best thing to collect is indie comics because it's all about rare. Yeah,
really low print runs. Mm-hmm. So if something goes big, man, you might be sitting good one day. Yep.
That is fair.
Exactly.
One of these days, our books will be treasures.
Yeah, there you go.
We might not be alive for that day, but one of these days.
That's exactly when things become treasures, when the artist dies.
Exactly. Dude, people are always like, "Oh, my work sucks. I'm not going to be famous." And I'm like, "Well, you won't know because you're going to be dead when you're famous."
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God, why didn't we find this guy when he was alive?
Yeah,
I mean, you hear the stories of those famous painters, Michelangelo, Donatello, they're all like poor, struggling, whatever. And they're still like
those guys weren't too bad. They had rich patrons, but like Vincent Van Gogh was destitute. Like literally, people were like, "Oh, he's not particularly good," and then like he died, and people just went and looked.
Oh my God, it's fantastic!
Yeah.
Wait. What?
Yeah, he cut his ear off. Nobody wants to.
I lost an ear for this, folks.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to put that guy out.
But the thing is, there'll never be any more of them made, right? So
Exactly.
And Tate says, so we need to pitch to the investors. I mean, isn't that what we do? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's like literally what crowdfunding is at this point. It's like, please invest.
Exactly.
It's masses Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's why we do the Patreons because they have Patreons and now we have Patreons. Come on, support the art. Who knows? Our stuff could be the next Sistine Chapel.
Oh man,
it's important. I mean,
I hope someone clips and quotes you on that, Raph. our work's gonna be the next 16. Who knows? Our work's gonna be the next Sistine Chapel, and it's like people having meltdowns, random indie dude.
You can quote that on the back of your book. You can quote that on the back of your book.
This could be the
next Sistine Chapel. Jesus. Oh.
We're off tomorrow. It's it. That's it. There you go.
Tate's saying this, so we need to pitch the investors. I'd rather have readers, but I guess if it helps me, exactly.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
But it does help to have the funds to make things.
Yeah, not the funds. You can't keep it going.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why it's so fantastic to have a patron because it actually helps you continue to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
No, it is not.
Speaking of somebody who does beautiful work, Mata does amazing work. She does everything by herself. She's the writer, the artist, the letterer, the inker.
Where is she? I thought she was going to be hanging out with us this evening.
She's supposed to, but she wasn't feeling well today. But I'm going to still show off her stuff. Ha!
Good.
How you like me, Mata? Dude,
Some
she's working on this book. I love the title of this book. You know, this is all her art put together into a big book. And I just love the fact that she's calling it some fancy shit.
Fair enough. You can't argue with that. So
somebody thought she was being degraded to her work, and she was like, no, this is just something I'm just calling it some fancy shit. But this book looks fantastic. It looks big. If you have seen Mata's stuff, you guys will get a good view at all the stuff that she does, and she's incredible. You know, I cannot say that enough. Folks, hire her for your covers, hire her for your books, and she has she does great with gods as well. So
yeah, yeah.
Oh man, and if you are a D&Der and all the other beautiful stuff, she has her own Etsy where she's creating stickers and necklaces. This is all her doing it. This is all her work.
Wow.
Yeah. So folks, you know, if you're looking for Christmas gifts for your geek friends, or people that just like stuff, you know, look at these beautiful necklaces. These stickers are amazing. You know, I just, as a D&D player, you know, I want some of these drogues and DPS and healer, the tank. Well, actually, as a World of Warcraft player, because that's what I was regulated to. Either I was the tank or the healer. And here's my life, folks. This is how I roll. And today's been a one day, folks. Oh man, yeah, she does fantastic work. Go check out Mata. I will put the links into the comments so I don't have to hear Ralph. You know, I don't want to look for those links. I just wanted it easy. There you go.
I think it's one guy that you keep breaking.
Oh, I am exactly impersonating one guy. And that guy knows who he is. So, but of course, he's decided to stay the silent person out there.
I told you I was sorry.
That's what he said.
Get over it.
Oh, you're such a snowflake.
When Vada does it, Vada goes, ew, I don't want to click on the movie.
Oh, I love her version of it. Yeah. Oh my God. Let me put the of course, Mata is also at that stage where she's notified me on launch, so sign up to get notified. All these 3 projects today are in that stage, so this is the best time to go help them out. Like I said, if you can get them to 100 followers, that seems to be the best goal. It's better more, but if you get them to 100 followers, the algorithm kicks them off in a better place.
Yeah, get us to that Hundy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially you pokey players out there. Who doesn't love a Hundy? Especially a shiny Hundy. These guys are shiny. Did you see their books?
100%, like everybody says. Like everybody says nowadays.
Oh man. I think that's everything. Oh, that's right. I can't forget to at least mention our friend because he wasn't able to make it today. But Whamstand, dude, folks, if you guys are in the comic business and you guys got your tables for your cons and you want to show off your stuff to like a stand out, get yourself some of this Wham merchandise because he does a great job. This is him making all this stuff. You know, who doesn't want their own way to show off the beautiful comics, like they're their own comic store type of thing? And these Wham emblems, I think that's what he calls them. They are magnetic, so they can be changed, put in and out. Actually, let me show you guys that on over here. So because right now it's always so static when we have it on the catalog page, but I can show you. Let's see. Here we go.
That's a pretty nifty spinner rack.
Oh, dude, that spinner rack is amazing. See? Oh,
That's
beautiful. And that's just to show off your book. Dude, he does
I
fantastic.
might actually have to. What are? I don't think I've seen these before.
It's called Whamstand. They're whamblems, and they're magnetic. You know,
I might have to get one of those spinner racks for like
dude.
just like one of my my booth.
Dude, that's what I was so funny because we were at New York Comic Con and he was telling me, "Oh, Ralph, a couple people have my Whamstand at New York Comic Con." I go to New York Comic Con and I started looking around and I text them back, "Dude, what do you mean a couple people? Almost everybody here has
a couple of people." It's like clearly your business is taking off.
Exactly.
He knows
everyone has them.
I just like the fact that you can give him your logo and he can make the wamblem for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm literally going to this site right now. I might be oh man, this is like that's a good price for this too.
Dude, he is so inexpensive. If you're looking for ways to make your table stand out, these are ways to make your table stand out. That rack alone means that you don't have to put your books laying down on the table. Now they're up where people can see them.
Yeah, no, like this is fantastic, and I could like this is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah,
I might have to invest in a couple of these.
Dude, and he makes this thing for a mic too that I'm like talking to him about making one for Bit and Apple TV, and it's just like wow.
I like the little stand on the table because if you want to highlight a certain book, you can
exactly
stand it right there and have like a special logo.
Well, what I'm thinking about doing is getting a couple of those spin racks.
Yep.
And have it be that like I have it for like I do like 2 of those for my 2 major books and have all of the variants on the spin rack that people can turn around. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Look at this. Just showing off books because sometimes most of the times now when you show off a book you got to put it down and then show it off. But now you can just put it up there and go through them all.
Yeah. Which one you want?
Exactly.
It's awesome.
I like it.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful.
Like that's a good looking spinner rack. I'm
Exactly.
like annoyed I haven't heard about this. Like I'm genuinely annoyed.
Oh, dude, like I was so impressed by his work that I had him have him on the show, and I had him on the show a while back, and then I was gonna have him on the show again because I made him one of our Christmas picks. Because which nerd or which con nerd or which guy out there wouldn't want one of these things, dude? Just to show off the book in your house, this would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep. See, and
so,
here
so the one that I'm looking. This is awesome. Okay. What the?
And he does a lot of different things. You know, I'm just showing this off, but he can make a lot of different things for you folks. You can actually talk to him and get creative with him, and he'll probably be able to make it for you.
I'm definitely like, this is awesome.
Dude, I think that's one of the best things is the fact that you can just take off the logo and put it up another logo, and it changes the whole rack.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a kid in a candy shop.
Exactly. And well, he should be here next week, folks, next Monday, to talk about all his beautiful stuff. Folks,
yeah, I'm definitely going to be stopping by on that show and just being like, you and me need to have discussions like now.
Oh man, yeah, folks, go check him out. Go give him a follow. Go jump in on this now because I get the feeling that he's about to shoot up.
It sounds like he's already shooting up. He's freaking everyone at New York Comic Con has his freaking.
Dude, look at this.
These are amazing.
You see this? He made this. Can you imagine walking around with your card, with this beautiful piece of necklace being all hip hop?
I mean, not my style, but it's still really cool.
See?
Mine.
Bling.
It's like comic bling. Look at that.
Yeah.
It could be your own advertisement.
Hey, you stand out though, right?
Yeah, exactly. You should have seen. I saw this guy at the convention, and he stood out completely because he was just walking around with that necklace. Yeah, folks. Oh, yeah. Look, he made this.
What?
Yeah.
There's that.
So is he just like 3D printing this stuff?
Yeah. He's actually making this stuff. So look, you see that's the name of the comic book right there, and it's a D&D comic book, and he made up this whole D&D dice holder thing.
Oh wow.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh, we had fun with him at New York Comic Con. Oh, and dude, he look the lights. He does all this stuff. This is all him.
I might see if he wants to make the Achilles helmet.
Yeah, because look, he made the axe. He made the Just talk to him.
Huh.
Folks, if you're looking for something, this is the guy to talk to. I'm gonna put both his Instagram and the shop links in there in the comments.
I already copied that. You put that Instagram there. I'm follow this guy
on the website now. I got some cool stuff.
There, dude. When you see the website, well, check out the mic. You can see why I want it so much. Let's see. Here we go.
Just followed.
I think
say less.
See, look.
My God.
Can you imagine having this on your table just to show off your logo?
Yeah, I see the mic, man. You gotta get that mic.
Dude, I told you the mic is amazing. And I would love to like change the logo, be like Apple Bites.
Yeah,
the written rig, written apple.
That'd be cool,
folks. I'm gonna go look for it, and I'm gonna show it to you guys because you guys got to see this. I think it's in 3. There it is. Look at this. Look at that.
I like it.
See, and it's funny because what it is you know those wireless mics that we use,
right,
to do our videos, our TikToks, and whatnot. They go inside of that because he made that so that you can put the wireless mics in, and now it turns it into a regular mic that you can use.
Cool.
Instead of having to hold your wireless like this and look all weird.
Standing around with that thing. Yeah.
I don't have words. I'm going through his site right now, and this is just insane. I'm going to end up spending a lot of money here. I can already tell this.
Look at this beautiful thing. Oh.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, folks, he'll be here on Monday. He'll talk more about his stuff. Right now, I put the things in the comment.
Come on, Raph. You know you want the mic. And
you know definitely I want the mic. I'm already talking to him about
that's not even like that. Like that's not even that far of a reach. You could totally do it.
Easy. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing this, especially right now when I have the extra money.
That's the time to do it.
You guys, this is killing me.
Yeah, totally. Like the first time I saw this stuff, I was like,
yeah. And when I go to shows, I have a vertical rack that stands up, and you can put about 7 books on about 4 rows. Wow. So I don't lay them flat, but that's cool. That spinner rack because you can turn it.
Exactly, and you can show off more books.
Yeah, because you're kind of limited on that flat stand because you only see what's in front.
Yeah.
But
even though sometimes I watch the kids from now and then they go to the spinner rack and they don't know they can spin it.
Yeah.
And they're like
walking around it.
The rack, man.
Yeah.
That's my name. They're like, Ralph, yeah, it's me. Oh, folks, yeah, as you can see, we're in love with Whamstand. Go check it out. Dude, it's Christmas. Right now, you can probably order this stuff and you'll probably get it either like pretty quickly, actually. I don't know if you'll get it before Christmas, but I know that you will get it pretty quickly.
It's getting pretty close to Christmas now. Yeah, a couple of weeks. So,
yeah, next week is Christmas.
Yeah, I'll definitely be considering the stand. I like the stand because I've got the big racks. I need something just to highlight a book or two and put it on the front, especially if I do like a trade paperback or something like that. You could have it on that. And it would kind of set it apart from all their other covers and stuff.
Right.
Because people get kind of confused with all these books. Definitely. Like, what is this one? What is that? Which one should I get? I'm like, well, get them all. But I saw them. I said, hey, the top row's number 1 with all the variants. Second row's number 2. So I kind of got it a little bit organized.
Let's see. I think I covered everything that I have in the back here, but my computer turned itself off, so I'm probably missing something.
I mean, you can never be perfect. We're all human.
And somebody's gonna say, Ralph, why didn't you talk about my project? It was there, now it's gone.
I do gotta pop off here at this point, guys.
No worries. We are ending right now, actually, Michael.
Oh, okay. Well then, fine.
Yep, we are at the 15 mark, folks. This is usually where we end the show, unless we go on to geek out. But we are done. And on this show, when it ends, I press the button and this happens. If I can find it. Here we go. And that's when I got the Dragon Balls